Okay, take the rudder.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that is completely dripping in sarcasm when Chibi says, "I really enjoy how the old RE formula is coming back again." Because if you meant that seriously, that was not the right time to say so.
Yeah. Alternatively, that may have been precisely the right time to say
Right.
so. Okay, I leave the hunting gun.
At least Billy is made of stern stuff. The fact that all those like pincer and stinger hits, and he's the only in the
Only in caution.
right.
Granted, that was from full health. So.
Yeah, true.
Okay, take the ice pick. Do I have any inventory space?
Nope.
No, I don't. I'll have to leave that then.
But like I was starting to say earlier, it's like I'm looking forward to playing XCOM 2 eventually. But I've been reading up about how like you get 6 characters and there's 5 classes and one of them is DLC. That it's like, you know what? I'm just not interested in playing the game anymore. I'm gonna wait for the full like Game Plus expansion pack like they did with Enemy Within for PS3 and then get it. And yeah, I just got burned on that.
I wonder if the boss would reload every time. 'Cause what I could have done was shoot him twice with a hunting gun.
The shotgun, yeah.
It's not a shotgun, I don't think. But shoot him twice, then duck into the other room and reload.
Well, it was a double-barreled gun firing shotgun shells. I mean, that's
I don't know if this were actually shotgun shells or not. What is that?
interesting.
Let's find out.
Yeah. It probably wasn't the best moment. Yeah. Of course, but by saying that, um, is there a game you're thinking
Panel
of?
opener.
Huh.
It's another
Is there a game you're thinking of, Chibi, about the old Resident Evil formula? Because the last I had heard was I'm not aware of what's next in the pipeline after Revelations 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up the knife.
Well, I know I heard some stuff about Resident Evil 7, but I didn't know if they were going old school on that one or not.
I'm gonna leave the briefcase because I know that's going to take a while to get to. Whereas the other two, I know where they go.
I have some bad news for you, Vex. You asked, I'm still waiting for the Game of the Year for the Mass Effect trilogy. No, there is a. If you're asking for the HD upscale for PS4 or whatever, last I had heard that was never actually a thing that EA confirmed, and it's been pulled from like Amazon or whatever. I don't think that was actually going to happen. There is a Mass Effect trilogy for console at least. That's the one I got for PS3. Of course, not some of the DLC is missing because it was like Origin or BioWare forums only, but. Yeah, Grandma was also saying, with the muzzle flash, probably supposed to be a shotgun, but even that's not what it actually looks like. Vex, why did I kill your joke? I am a joke killer, Vex. You should know this by now.
Wayne's pretty good at such things. That's right. I left my typewriter ink behind, which I'm going to run back, get it, save, and then. No, wait, I don't need to. You can't see like tapping the side of my head. An idea has just happened. Because
light bulb went off. A fluorescent light bulb because incandescent ones are banned.
I can leave my red herb here. Pick out my typewriter ink back where they are, then leave them in this room and pick up my red herb. I love the old RE formula. I'm glad it's coming back again. Looking at you, Chibi. Looking at you. Oh, golly. It's like, I'm not, I don't care too much about inventory management. I'm fine with juggling some things. This is silly. It's like, there's a difference between having mission-critical things to save your life and odd bits and bobs. Like, are we really supposed to assume that if you put your ice pick and your knife aside, that gives you room for a shotgun? But if you happen to have an herb that you can put in your pocket, that's too much.
Right.
It's like, no, it doesn't work. It's too silly.
It's kind of like when you're playing Resident Evil 5 and you find your the rocket launcher in the swamp. It's like that only takes one inventory space. Yeah.
Okay, typewriter ink.
Ribbons, right?
Yep. Ink ribbons.
Ink ribbon, okay.
Yes, technically they're ribbons, but the important thing is the ink that they have.
Right.
Because for you young whippersnappers that ever used a typewriter, the actual ribbon is basically just this long strip of paper dipped in ink. RE4 inventory, best inventory.
I amen to that. You know,
Compared to this,
right?
I would absolutely agree.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for the big like screen of the inventory, like full of inventory squares that things take different amounts of space to fill. I think that's probably the best way to do it if you have to do it.
A knife takes the same amount of room as a large potted plant. Am I seriously going to have to cart potted plants around?
I'm guessing that's probably almost a Dead Space, but Dead Rising reference.
That could be.
Everything's one space, whether it's a teddy bear dual wielding LMGs or or a book.
See, that's the thing, though. This is Resident Evil. There are any number of silly things they could use.
Granted, I would love seeing a Billy Bear, like a crossover, with like a Billy Cohen, like a stuffed Billy Cohen dual wielding machine guns from Dead Rising 3.
Because I might as well save on the first one.
Yeah, it's like I would seriously, if the save hadn't been so far back, I'd have seriously been tempted to just say just try again against the Scorpion. Now that,
right.
knowing then what you knew, knowing then what you knew now, knowing now what you knew then.
Okay, then I leave the ribbons here, and I pick up the rudder. I pick up the red herb. No. Oh boy.
You may be.
No.
I guess maybe just pick it up to get out of the way, and then pick up the red herb and then put it back.
Maybe if I do it this way.
If you position the camera angle just so. This is a typewriter. I think you may.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you heard that. I was basically mashing the A button in order to pick that up.
Ben is capable of inventorying. I think in that case, it was just,
I was using the Philo method, alright?
I think it's just the bad luck of putting something too close to a camera, angle swap. Where you're just hard to get a bead on it. And once again, just imagining that actually happening.
How do I better? Why?
But it's right there.
Yeah, just imagining poor Rebecca going, why is Billy taking so long? Red herb! Why? Yes, Real John, what hope you know now?
Well, you could be as forgetful as I am.
That's true.
I don't know some things now that I do then. Early Alzheimer's is no joke.
It's funny, Wayne actually took ginseng a little while back to help with this memory, but he forgot to take it.
Well, mostly it was me finding out the whole thing was a hoax anyway.
But I prefer the other way, too, because there actually was part of that, too.
Right.
Okay.
Now,
so we open the access panel. We...
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Aha!
I remember some things really well. Like, I have a good memory for numbers and stuff. And then some things are just,
No, let's not enter the crawl space. Instead...
Let's not go to the crawl space. It's a silly place.
Alright, sit back, everybody. We've got 3 things to put up here.
We have inventory to shuffle.
If we have inventory, it will be shuffled. Alright, we press the button.
The ice pick thing reminds me that Ben and I watched Bunraku the other... was yesterday, right?
It was early today.
Early today, yeah. And because this dude was sick and he was playing hooky, he was from work, and
that didn't stop me from beating the mercenaries mode.
Oh no, and then one of the villains there is Steve McMillan, I think is his name, and he plays this guy who has a cane sword, and not only is the bottom end a sword, but the top part is an ice pick. And of course, he stabs the guy's eye out with it. So that's what I was.
No,
thinking.
Don't. No. I just wanted to unlock the door. I didn't want to step through.
It's like the original XCOM versions. If you the only way to.
Nope.
Take a look at the flaming zombie and just no pride out of there. Yeah, that's like you forgot something you did in the same day. Well, no, I knew it was recent. I couldn't remember. Well, I guess that's true. I'll cop to that.
See, none of you can see the stoop shoulders under the cross I bear.
Anyway, Chibi asked, how linear is this game? The train setting does seem like a place to offer a lot of room to maneuver. There's been a couple places that's been dual layered. Like Billy took a ladder to go to another part of the train instead of just onto the upper, like on top of it. So there's some depth, if you will, to it. But other than that, no, it does seem like a fairly compact area. Now I know it switches settings, later in the game. Like we're not on the train for the entire game. I don't even know for how long. In fact, we are.
Okay, we're almost done here.
Given that this is a prequel to Resident Evil 1, as you might guess from the Zero, then I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in the mansion like everybody else. And canonically, there are probably 20 people in there.
Yeah,
most of them are dead.
Rebecca does end up in the mansion. Yeah. Billy does not.
Right.
But obviously, she doesn't appear there in this game because she only does it in the.
That's right. Yeah, I think the game ends with them splitting up and her going to meet her date with Destiny, and then to be forgotten for the next 20 years of Resident Evil.
Which is kind of a shame because, as much as we all enjoy poking fun at her and she kind of deserves it, she isn't that bad of a character as Capcom female protagonists go.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where the... John Doe, you're going to end up fighting a ghost train, right? No, I think it's a zombie train in this case. Grandma's like, Rebecca might be smart enough, small enough to fit inside the lift. I
don't think she actually would be small to fit in there.
That's really
pretty
small.
Cramped, even for an 18-year-old shrimp like her.
Right. I'm thinking that there's probably just some aspect of the character designers
still on fire.
The character designers at Capcom wanting to.
No, I don't think so.
Wanting to design more women to hit different demographics or whatever, because they're stuck with the same cast of dudes for most of it. It's like Leon's been in 3 games.
Oh, I could have just moved her down and shared items. Whatever.
But Leon's been in 3 games. Chris has been in 3 or 4 games. Claire's been in a couple. Jill's been not as many because if you might count 5, you might not. So
really.
But yeah, then they keep adding new ones. Like they added Sheva for 5, they added Helena for 6. Of course, they also added Piers and Jake in 6. Chibi was asking John about the Layton games. Yep.
What the? Why did she suddenly switch direction?
Can we shoot the gas? You probably need it.
No, it's a useful item.
Okay. I guess you want to time the bullet just right to hit them as they hit them out of the air. Lorax might be amused by this one. When Ben and I were playing Mercenaries in mode to try to 5-star everything.
Quiet for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure the music was done.
Yeah. But we got a tip about trying to beat Waterworld with Hunk, and it was like trying to angle a shot, right at the start, to hit Super Salvatore as he's jumping up to get you. Because while an enemy is flying through the air, you can send them flying through the air by hitting them. You cannot carry it now. Well.
All right, back we go. So I'm pretty sure the gas tank is something that I need to give Billy to fill up his lighter.
That seems a bit overkill, but.
There's no saying how much gas is actually in the tank.
That's true. It's like that's like the grandpa of Oven Zombie.
Billy.
Of Oven Zombie from Resident Evil 4. That's how you do it.
Wow. She just noped out of there.
I think he's dead, yeah. Well, you know.
There's only one way to be sure. So why was he in the refrigerator? Sure, I'll take the empty bottle. Thanks a lot, Rebecca.
Dude was so drunk he didn't even realize he was dead.
Wow.
Yeah, Chibi, that was awkward. Oh, yeah, those are some pretty high caliber bullets to send the dog flying like 2 meters away. Yeah, I guess it's just we use ammo or ammo physics. We use movie physics there. The equal and opposite reaction doesn't include firing the gun. You can totally send people flying with a shotgun with no recoil to your side.
Oh, that is not what it's used for. Okay. It's filled with gasoline.
John Doe was saying, if any of you guys know about a dude, but like an engineer type that builds a better mousetrap with slingshots, he can make a slingshot that send a dog flying. Huh. Of course, now I'm imagining like.
Oh. Aha!
Of course, now I'm imagining.
Yes.
I'm imagining this. Tell me if it's true, John Doe, that he actually does make a slingshot that actually launches dogs. Like, by seeing a dog flying, he actually like loads up a dog in a slingshot and sends it like hurling through the air. That'd be amazing.
There we are.
Non-PG MacGyver. Yep, there's a show that needs a remake with all the stuff all the advances we've made in technology and forensics and stuff like that.
Okay. With that,
Mm-hmm.
let's see, should be able to go out this way.
First aid spray was very timely too.
Yeah.
Like, I guess they give you that there to patch Billy up or whoever fights the Scorpion.
Okay, so why is Rebecca now not following me?
There's probably a button you have to press to switch her from follow motor back. I wonder if you hit it by accident in the fight, and that's why she does left.
Possibly.
Let's regroup.
Okay.
Yep.
There we are.
What button was it?
Back.
Hmm.
Let's regroup. Thanks, partner.
Roger.
Okay.
Oh. I guess you might as well. Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, this is bad.
Yeah, that's real. Oh, and they killed
Okay,
Becky.
so going that way is horrible and bad, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But that's going to be quite a whiles back since the last save.
Yes, Vex. They took quite a few liberties with MacGyver. And it's some of the stuff that he came up with was like just implausible. Like the physics works, but the stuff there it's extremely unlikely that he would have that stuff on hand. But yeah, I think what Chibi was saying is like the physics of it tends to work, but the plausibility of it, like of him actually being able to do those things in those scenarios, like all the stuff being there, getting it done in time, that's a little less likely.
Okay. That's right. And now I leave.
Interesting. John Doe was saying he said some things about a gun to make a dog fly back, and then terminal ballistics, stuff like that. There is a. It's like if you do it directly from like pulling the trigger and then sending somebody flying, obviously the force that you're imparting on them would recoil back to you. That's what they call it recoil. And but there are ways of getting around that. Like I'm thinking of the 50 caliber gyrojet pistols people were trying out in the Vietnam War, and it's like you could definitely make guns that work differently, like a shotgun that would you would fire it normally, but then it would have a mixture in the shell that would explode at a certain distance. Obviously, you could convey more force with a secondary reaction than you could with the gun itself. Oh, just as a heads up, everybody, Chibi was saying if you're ever locked in a room, you can make a lockpick from the wires in a light bulb. Well, but now we're completely screwed with that, with those regulations about banning the incandescent bulbs, right?
Yeah, the idea is that tungsten always retains its shape. Or is rather stiff enough and malleable enough that you can make a lockpick out of it.
Right.
Keeps its shape. As much as any metal does, I suppose.
Right.
Okay. Go through here.
Mm-hmm.
Open the panel.
And then find out that Becky was only like a trip across the hall and down the stairs all along.
Right. So we are not going to do that.
Right. I guess you will have to, and the drunk zombie is in that fridge, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So to be careful with that. Vex saw that MythBusters test the lockpick actually took, but took quite a while, right?
On the other hand, if you're locked in a room, you don't have anywhere else you're going to be.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm just saying. Push the button.
And yeah, slingshot would work better in that case because obviously it would be taking the impact, and you wouldn't be, so you could do some, obviously you'd have a lot more flexibility you could do with it. Oh, Grandma, what mischief have you been getting into with saying you picked a lock with a safety pin and a toothpick? Not that we're judging here, but
there we are.
Speaking of lockpicking, I'm kind of disappointed that Rebecca apparently isn't any good at it. I thought the rule was like all women in Resident Evil were masters of unlocking.
I don't think so, actually. I think that really is just Jill.
Just Jill.
It's like most of the Resident Evil women can play the piano, oddly enough.
Oh yeah. I like the quip that I think Hunnigan gave.
Billy? Oh, he's back over here.
Right. I think Hunnigan gives Leon about, like, didn't you learn to pick locks in the academy or something? Like,
okay. So I give her these.
Chibi was saying the slingshot talk reminds him of an Amazing Race contestant who tried to shoot watermelon out of some medieval slingshot contraption and didn't shoot and smash on her face instead. Nice.
There.
Physics is not for amateurs. Yeah. Grandma spinning the glory of Peter Dinklage. Oh, did you launch him from a slingshot?
There we go.
Oh, that would definitely be a way of getting him around.
Let's leave her back here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the trigger is. Maybe it's like leaving the room and coming back once they regroup or something.
Trigger for what?
The zombie popping out.
After I finish with the ones here.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Well, as much as, it makes sense in the game mechanical sense with flags and events and stuff. Not so much.
Yeah, if Billy doesn't face the right direction, there's not a whole lot I can do.
You should get in front of the door and try to do the same thing you did with Rebecca.
Huh.
I think you have to be you have to line up just so to deal with the silly.
Right.
Yeah. I think there are some things that you could kind of I don't know if regress is the right word for it, but there are some fun things that some of the newer Resident Evils could do to recapture some of the feel of the older games. But the idea of the whole problem with the fixed save points and the camera angles, keeping you from doing things you could quite clearly do, I think I'm kind of glad that stayed on the cutting room floor. Grandma says no, but they do launch themselves into people's homes with a trebuchet. Video or didn't happen.
Okay. What's that?
Chibi, forget RE4 existed? Hey. No, the RE4's thing was it had the... Oh, you mean because that was a paradigm shift, if that's what you're going for. But the RE4, because it switched from a fixed camera. The biggest problem is I think those are my biggest problems with the classic games. The fixed camera and the limited save things. Because you deal with situations like this where it's like Ben knows exactly what he needs to do, but there's just no getting around the time it takes if you screw up somewhere later, and you don't know if you're going to have enough ink ribbons to justify spending one. Well, it's basically getting busy work out of the way. So getting rid of that stuff entirely is an advance to the game. In my opinion. Is always kind of that dilemma when you're talking about sequels and franchises of games and stuff like that, of how much is an improvement, and should be kept. How much things are a direct improvement over what came before, and should be retained, and then how much things are kind of a lateral shift that you could take or leave. That sucks. Okay, yeah, fair enough. And I could definitely sympathize with the people that didn't like RE4. It's true. She was saying we live in the era of emulators. Yeah, I'm sure Ben probably could make save states probably not on Steam per se, but you could do some shenanigans with the save files maybe.
I could, but
Or just hack yourself infinite typewriter ribbons.
But at that point, it would break me out of the immersion enough that I mean, basically, if I have to not play the game in order to play the game, I'm not going to play the game.
Right. Yeah, and that's something that's been an interesting topic of discussion for you all, and I'm kind of curious about. It's like when I'm playing Symphony of the Night, I use save states to farm for items. So I can like lower an enemy really low down on health, get them to the point where I can finish them off in one hit, and then just reload over and over and over again until I finally drop the thing I want. And that's just there to save time. Whereas when I'm actually streaming it, I never use save states. Even if that would make it easier for to get through areas like the inverted chapel last time. So that's kind of how it's. I'm in that kind of that gray area where save states are. It's like you can see the convenience of them a little bit, like we did that with Sonic, for example. Just because we couldn't, we weren't familiar enough with the game to actually play it properly, and still not bore everybody to tears, with the stream. So,
and even then, I think the fact that we have felt no inclination to pick it back up again kind of proves my point.
Right. You might have Becky give Billy some ammo.
That's what I was going to do.
Well.
Clearly you hadn't paid attention the last time.
Nope. Yeah, that's just talking to people. Grandma, we are playing this on the PC, but obviously it just came out, so probably no mods for it yet.
Yeah, this is actually the HD remake.
Yeah, and if you didn't catch all the Steam messages, we saw earlier. Yeah, and like there have been some times where I've been honestly kind of torn about using save states or not. Like I've been thinking about playing the old school Dragon Quest games again, and because it's been a while. So I guess you have to time it just so. There we go.
Yeah, the range on a pistol is not what you would expect.
Right.
Oh, and he just completely no-sold it, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do the saves work here in the remake? It's exactly like it was. Ben has to take a typewriter. It has to take an ink ribbon to a typewriter and save on a save slot there. There are multiple save slots, though. I think he's got 6. I don't know if that was the case originally. Stock dog sound effects.
Wow, he like Superman that one.
So, what do you press to change the angle of your shot?
Up or down.
Up or down, okay. There you go.
That was only slightly absurd.
Right. Well, Becky was already pretty badly hurt. You might as well just have her heal herself.
She was actually better off than Billy was.
Oh. And she was saying that was room for improvement. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they just really wanted to port it over completely as is, works and all.
The gold ring.
Huh. Use. Oh, to combine it with something. Huh. Okay.
I guess I'll need that later.
So so did Billy not come down?
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay.
Okay. So this is where I need to go.
Oh, looks like there's a harpoon gun or something on the right there.
What?
A hook shot.
Huh.
I guess.
Well, I'll do that later.
Right. My grandma says, I like to imagine Leon just secretly typing emo stuff on the typewriters. I saw a video a little ways back for it's like Geek and Sundry. I think it's Felicia Day and her boyfriend or whoever. But they're kind of joking about that one with getting a typewriter to, the two of them were pretty short succession. So he kind of joked about it's like Dear Diary, it's like fighting zombies and stuff like that.
Oh, come on.
And then of course the next one it was like, yeah, about the same as last time. I like Dondo's here typing up a Zanga post in advance. Oh, that's dating us here.
Well,
Chibi,
more dating them.
When did RE4 come out? 2004, 2005, I believe. Yeah.
Wow, and she's right back to caution.
Yeah.
Huh.
Of course, yellow caution is the next step down from green. So
Well, yeah,
but still, right.
okay. Take the empty bottle.
So live journal. Yeah, there we go. Live journal. Yep.
There.
Oh man, that's taking me back. I had a live journal up until I think 2007.
There. All right.
Maybe no, it would have been 2009 because I got into a bunch of live journal slap fights of the 2008 election. I remember that.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I do not know where the...
It's like all the millennials going for Sanders now. That was basically the Obama in 08. Yeah, pretty similar to the live journal. Yeah, I've heard of Zanga, but I've never really looked into it because I've never been much for aside from that live journal I had briefly. I've never really been much for
Billy, did you really have to...
I've never really been much for that stuff.
Wow, I can't even really dodge away from them.
Right. So is the ice pick like an actual weapon?
No,
Okay.
it's just a quest item.
Right. Yeah, the 2008, not racist, Yeah, I guess Chibi is not exactly a hardcore political follower. Bernie Sanders makes single-payer weed or something. Exactly, Grandma. Yeah, we're not here to debate or anything. I'm just mentioning that that's kind of dating the event. Oh.
Okay, I'm going to have to put Billy on not attack everything.
Yeah, is there an option to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I did know there were still 50 bazillion zombies in here.
Right.
And honestly, it is just about quitting time, and I don't know if I'm going to... Because this is going to have to go all the way back at that one typewriter.
Right.
Because I didn't realize there was an entire zombie minefield betwixt me and it.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and call it there for the night. Because I am tired of trudging back and forth across the train, and I think I'm going to need a bit of a palate cleanser before I do that again.
Okay.